Hey Siri, what fantasy sports podcast should I listen to?
Beast the Odds. Fantasy sports and sports investing with your host, 12-time DFS champion qualifier and counting, 5-time MLB Fantasy Pros HR champion, back-to-back years.
Mantradamus.
Beastdome Nation, it is February 24th, 2021, another episode of Beast the Odds. We start out every episode like we do every episode by opening a pack of cards. We got 2018 Panini Contenders. Remember, there's a $10,000 Josh Allen somewhere in one of these cards. Speaking of cards, I don't know if you guys have heard of these things called Top Shots, NBA Top Shots. I mean, the thing is blown up ridiculous. In about 2 months, the marketplace was about 75,000. Now it's above, I don't even know the number, at least 50 million. So I was tracking it very closely actually yesterday. There's a Giannis. I want to see like what the price range would go for as it was going. And in the span of about 3 hours, it went from $400 to $800. At nighttime, I was like, you know what? Time to jump in. So I jumped in last night. First thing I bought was this goofy Robin Lopez highlight. And honestly, I don't know what I was thinking when I bought it. As soon as I bought it, I'm like, why did I buy Robin Lopez? He might be waived, tomorrow by the Wizards for all we know. And that's going to be absolutely worthless. So I sold that instantly, took a $1 loss. That ended up depositing another 100. I deposited altogether 500, and what I ended up with was 2 De'Aaron Foxes and a Jokic. And to say the least, the Fox has dropped. I got it at 100. I got 2 of them at 100, and it dropped pretty quickly to 63. So we'll see what happens. The process is weird. Also, I got a pack. Well, actually, I was in line to get a pack. How it works is you show up and you wait in this waiting room. I'm waiting in this waiting room for 22 minutes, and then they're going to place me in a random spot. There's only 5,000 packs. There's 70,000 people in the room. I was in the number 21,000 in line. Stayed in line for a good, 2 minutes. So how it works is everyone's got 5 minutes once you're up in line to make a purchase. Next people up. People were not missing out on this opportunity. And the market's crazy. Here's an example. Someone sold a LaMelo Ball 2 weeks ago for $21. Now it's $5,100. So let's get to these contenders. Let's see what we got. Amari Cooper with the Raiders, once upon a time. We got Jordan Howard, once upon a time with Chicago. Kirk Cousins. I'm going to say soon to be once upon a time Minnesota. We'll see. Oh, look at this. A Lamar Jackson Rookie of the Year contender. This is his rookie year, this box. It's a 2018. Might be a $3 or $4 card. Myles Garrett. I feel like he'll always be known for the guy that just smashed Mason Rudolph's head with his own helmet. And, just want to take a moment right here and just wish all the best to Tiger Woods. Scary stuff. Just, he's on his way to golf with Drew Brees and Justin Herbert and just goes a little too fast down a windy road. And that should just be a reminder. Just chill out. Be cool, there's no reason to rush in life. Just enjoy things. Just don't rush. All right, we got Kelvin Benjamin with the Bills. Once upon a time with Cam Newton there. Aaron Donald, that's pretty cool, but it's really nothing. And a kid reporter. So all in all, that was not a great pack. All right, so what we're going to talk about today is an NBA edition. First, we're going to go over the All-Star snubs. So let's pull up that All-Star snubs list. All right, so here's what we got with the All-Star snubs. We got in the West, we got Chris Paul. Well, these are the guys that actually made the team. These are not the snubs. So Chris Paul, Paul George, Damian Lillard. It's hard to argue all three of them. Let's say Donovan Mitchell as well. Let's talk about all 4 of those quote-unquote guards, because Paul George really is a small forward, even though he's playing guard. So anyways, you cannot take anything away from any of those guys. Paul George, yes, this is not his greatest season ever at all. He's missed a bunch of games. And to be honest, there's been a lot of games where he wasn't even that crucial of a factor in the win or a loss. He's just another role player because they just have so many guys that can score. Everyone's saying Devin Booker deserved to be in that spot, and yes, you can argue that. I like De'Aaron Fox personally. That's why I invested in those cards. I mean, throw Fox on any other team, and the guy's the leading point guard in the NBA by far. He's carrying that squad and putting up monster numbers at the same time. A lot of people are saying DeMar DeRozan are in this spot, but like Paul George, you know, DeRozan wasn't even the leader a lot of the nights. He's sometimes just a facilitator, and yeah, that's important, but he's not always night in and night out the leader. LeBron James came out and he said Devin Booker straight up is the most disrespected person in the league. So now let's look at the big men that made it from the West. Rudy Gobert, Zion Williamson, Anthony Davis. The only debatable here is Brandon Ingram, to be honest, as far as forwards go, because he's really the next level superstar. Yeah, I get it. Anthony Davis, he was the MVP last year, the NBA Finals, more or less. Yeah, I'm pretty sure LeBron won it, but LeBron couldn't have done it without Anthony Davis getting all those easy buckets. I get it. He deserves it, even though he really hasn't played that many games this year. And on top of that, he's not always like the most dominant guy like he once was. I feel like he's just kind of taking it easy until we get into playoff time, and then he'll really turn it up a notch. Because don't forget, the Lakers had a very short break. We'll see. Anthony Davis is probably going to miss the All-Star game, and then they're going to give it to Devin Booker. That's probably how it's all going to turn out. Chris Paul, this could be his last All-Star game, but you know he doesn't want to hear that. So, all in all, the West has a great team. Anytime you got LeBron James, Steph Curry, Jokic, that's just ridiculous on its own. They add Kawhi to that, game over. All right, so let's look at the East. Let's see who on the East made it as backups. James Harden. I mean, James Harden has to be on the All-Star team. He's arguably the best player in the NBA offensively. Julius Randle. Yes, Julius Randle has carried the Knicks. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, those guys have been fire, money, ice all season long. Tatum and Brown have to be on the team. Zach LaVine, without a doubt, Zach LaVine's putting up a monster season. Ben Simmons, and by the way, Zach LaVine was a Beast Dome guy. If you were part of the fantasy basketball draft guide, Ben Simmons, I don't think he's having the best year he's ever had, but at the same time, the 76ers are the best team in the East. You already got Embiid. Ben Simmons is really like the second go-to gadget, and Vucevic. So let's tie a little bit of top shots into this. Now, I was considering buying a Sabonis or as buying a Vucevic. And if I want to put this into terms that you can understand, this is basically like a card, and it's a limited edition of the sports card. I know a lot of people are like, who would spend money on a highlight? But it's really like a card. There's 15,000 of this card, and they're only on the second deck, and it's a beta phase thing. You can't take your money out. That's another thing with Top Shot. Right now, everybody's money is locked and loaded, but at the same time, it's making the market grow. But you do not want to be the last person to sell. So it's a timing thing. It seems like they're still building things up. I just saw big guy, blue check Twitter guy, spending over $400,000 on a Top Shot. That alone, it gives me enough confidence where the market's not going to crash a lot. Jokic, he went from about 250 to 170. I'm sorry, 250 to 140. Now he's back at 170. We'll see how it all flows. I'll keep you updated. I mean, it's a journey. It's a journey. Can't expect one day success with everything. All right, so Vucevic, his card was going for 60 plus, right? Sabonis was going for 95 plus. I was thinking about getting Sabonis. I didn't get Sabonis. What happened to Vucevic after he was awarded with the spot is his price went from about 61 to 97. Then it fell back down. Let's get a real-time update on this. Here's another thing with it. I really don't recommend it if you have a family or anything like that because it's 24/7. It's just, yes, you can hold it to hold it. $70 per share. I guess I'm going to say, it really is a share more or less of 15,000. And that's for the low end. There's high-end Vukovic's. His high-end Vukovic, smallest ask is $10,500. All right, $10,500. And the last sale was for $5,500 from that card. So there's money happening. And how long ago was that sale? You ask. It was actually 7 hours ago. Actually, it was 3 hours ago. Regardless, things are moving. It's a crazy market. But remember, you can't take your money out. So there's that. But it's owned by the NBA, and I believe the players get a cut every time there's a transaction of that player. Next topic, here's a controversial topic. Draymond Green. If you watched the episode last week about Draymond, now on Saturday, here's the situation. Draymond Green, the Warriors, they're up by 2 with 9 seconds to go against the Hornets. There's a jump ball. Ball clearly goes to Gordon Hayward. He calls a timeout. Draymond Green tackles him to the floor to try to get the ball. They're like, no, it's a timeout awarded to Charlotte. So Draymond Green, what does he do? He starts yelling at the ref. The ref's taking. The ref's like, Draymond, go back to your bench, all right? Go back to your bench. It's not a jump ball. He keeps yelling. Players are trying to hold him back. The refs are like, guys, go to your bench. Go to your bench. It's Charlotte's ball, timeout. And then Draymond, as he's on the bench, still being pushed back by teammates, he decides to point and yell. Throws him out of the game. 2 free, technical foul. Charlotte gets 2 free throws. They knock them both down. Tie game. Terry Rozier, bucket, next play. Hornets win 102-100. What type of discipline does Draymond Green get? For literally, he's been an idiot all season. He's been kicked out of many games. I believe this is the second time I can visually remember him being tossed out of the game for technicals. But to cost your team like this, he costed his team in that Knicks game as well when he got 2 technicals. But to cost his team the way he did this way at the end of the game for such selfish reasons, and for Steve Kerr not to address it, not to criticize him, and just to basically throw him out there the very next game against the Knicks, shows that Steve Kerr's got no spine. Like, he literally just showed the world that if it wasn't for these amazing players that got him, Steph Curry in his prime, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, like, if it wasn't for those amazing players, Steve Kerr would have been nothing, and Draymond Green would have been nothing. Draymond Green is more or less Mark Madsen. I don't know if you remember Mark Madsen from the Lakers with the Shaquille O'Neal days, but that's basically what he does. He gets rebounds, he's physical, he sets good picks. If someone's wide open, he can make that pass, no problem. If he's wide open for 3, he'll probably make as many as Draymond Green. And let's not forget, Draymond Green lost in a 3-point shootout to Kevin Hart. Well, it was actually technically a tie. But still, you tie Kevin Hart, the 5'2" comedian, and you're an NBA player. With that being said, that is the end of Beast the Odds tonight. There's going to be American League articles coming out this week. And don't forget, James Dalthorpe III's golf picks. The guy literally went 6 for 6. 5 for 5 on his picks on DraftKings, or 5 on 5 in the article, and then 6 on 6 in DraftKings. So, who made the cut? You're going to want to catch that. We got a big week coming up. Free Monkey Knife Fight picks on beastdome.com. Just click the article, Beast the Odds. Beast!